Social media has become the most prominent platform for sharing, learning, and commenting over any kind of news that surfaces in the farthest corner of the world. Keeping communication and ease of accessibility as the key weapons of this platform, advertisers have begun to discover various ways to reach out to a maximum number of clients. If you want to start your services as a social media manager, you need to discover the fact that a single manager cannot shoulder and deliver all the responsibilities which have been outlined above. This is because each of them requires a different skill altogether. In the real world, a social media manager is usually accompanied by 2 other employees. So, companies have to hire at least 3 people to this department. Outsourcing the activities which are to be successfully undertaken by the manager is an option which can be brought into view. Considering the variety of activities which come under the realm of a social media manager's responsibilities, it is important to realize the importance of multiple hands which could lessen the turnaround time for completing the process. As a social media manager, you need to maintain your own team. For that, you need the following people. Number 1. Someone who can design and set up social media profiles, such as Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and etc. Number 2. Someone who can advertise and find leads for the clients, Facebook page, Twitter, etc. And number 3, someone who can automate updates, tweets, and real-time customer support. If you are thinking about the appropriate places to find the right kind of people to employ, let me suggest a few places to start off with. Number 1, Warrior Forum. Number 2, forumdigitalpoint.com. We all know the fact that hiring people from Philippines or Romania would be the best idea due to them not only being skilled in general, but also because they charge less as compared to any other place. This will surely help you in keeping your overheads low, as there is a need to add more members to the team in order to deliver a successful social media platform for the brand, while the options would be to outsource this task. Even the successful brands which have a strong presence over the social networking sites such as Facebook, LinkedIn, Orkut, and Twitter bear testimonial to a team of 2 or 3 members who have successfully delivered and performed well beyond expectations. Considering all these factors, the activities of a team member can be differentiated on the basis of the 3 different phases which exist during the course of the following. This proves to be a structured strategy for building a social media base for a brand. If you are looking at a smaller team size, the activities could be divided among 3 members. For phase 1, social media setup. It is essential for the individual to focus on understanding the dynamics such as age, geographical location, bracket of income, and etc. of the target audience. This can be undertaken by one who holds an expertise in designing a profile for the brand on popular networking sites such as LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and etc. It will require the architect to have a thorough understanding of the market structure based on the strategy and product line to be offered, and also to be in synchronization with the values and processes followed at the firm whose services are to be advertised. Phase 2. Building a strong base of followers would require the individual to display strong marketing and selling skills. This would be in continuity with the first step. After the target audience has been identified, the next step involves making the profile attractive so that a considerable number of fans and followers can be obtained. An already established brand has the advantage as the brand would not face many problems in gaining a good number of followers due to its goodwill and reputation. And lastly, phase 3 requires an expert who would be conversant with solving any queries both online and offline and real-time mode. This requires effective public relations skills. The social media is an extremely sensitive and quick mode of communication. Any discussion transpiring between both parties is bound to surface within minutes and spread across a larger audience. Handled with care, this could also become an advantage of spreading the word about the advertised products and services. Apart from making the role more effective, the monetary factors involved in increasing the team members is also a crucial factor for the firm. As compared to a single social media manager who is required to work solely with one firm requesting a salary of $5,000, hiring few junior members would be working on a temporary basis at a cost of $997 between $2,000 and $997 a month is a much more cost-effective. This not only reduces the cost involved in hiring one employee, but also reduces the dependability of a successful campaign over one person. Cooperative team members offer better chances of a unique and a successful campaign. For understanding the availability of such precious talent, visit sites like Warrior Forum. So, you have decided to start off with a career as a social media manager. How in the world are you going to find these potentials? Here are some ways. The modes of identifying clients inclined to use the social media as a mode of selling their products as well as increasing their brand knowledge would be numerous. You can start from the most commonly available mode of communication, the newspaper. Newspapers are the most accessible media which capsules every kind of information. Advertising over a newspaper not only makes a wider audience available to the idea of social media advertising, but also offers diversity in terms of the kind of which would be interested in using this mode of marketing. The clients who are not aware of this medium could also turn out to be potential customers, as this is a cost-effective method of advertising. Second method. Another way of contacting companies is shooting an email to all firms which appear over Google search page on the basis of geographical locations. This not only leaves a personal touch but also does a first level check on whether the company would require the services of a social media manager. In case it does, the extent of efforts which would be involved in improving the brand can also be gauged by the size of the website. If the site lacks a Web 2.0 presence, it can be identified by hitting the inbox of the site. An analysis of the prospective clients can also be undertaken apart from making a note of the existing companies in that space which could be successfully targeted. Number 3. Cold calling can always be considered to be one of the most fruitful ways. This method takes time, but the results are always positive. Nothing can identify the needs of a company better than having a word with someone with the organization itself. This method can be surprisingly effective despite being time-consuming and cumbersome. Calling clients not only increases the chances of building a clientele, but also can lead to their better understanding of the services. Speaking personally to a number of companies would assist in having an understanding of the kind of facilities that are common to a similar product line and services. Lastly, leaflet advertising or distributing pamphlets and brochures can also be considered a constructive method of tapping social media clients. This is one of the common methods of communication used for targeting offline companies. Brochures can be considered an extremely effective method of brand recognition as they come in handy and can be referred to by the user once in a while. Apart from that, they can also be circulated among a wider community. The only restriction is that due to the manual nature of the job, the kind of clients would be similar for demographics purposes. Most startups use these methods of sharing and distributing brochures and etc. amongst their target audience, which could vary based on the location, earning capacity, demographics, and age, and etc. Leaflets come in handy when a similar kind of audience is being considered as a client for any social media manager. This is also dependent on the product which is marketed by the firm, depending on it being for domestic use or for an international market. Don't target home internet marketers as they don't need your services. They can do everything for themselves. This is considered to be a strict no-no for social media managers because the activities to be undertaken by a social media manager can be performed by any home internet marketer in an inexpensive way. Most of the internet marketers who are working from home are not in need of the special services which are offered by a social media manager. This can be accepted considering the monetary implications of hiring a social media manager at an exorbitant $5,000 a month. Therefore, these can be considered to be the prime methods of identifying an appropriate client for any expert who is skilled at managing the social media interface for clients and putting his or her knowledge of market dynamics over the internet to best of use.